Bill O'Neill, winner, winner, winner. Bill O'Neill advances for title. Indeed. The birthday girl, Stephanie Zavala.
9 to make the show. There it is.
He yelled, do it, and he did it. BJ Moore makes the show. 10 is a win for Snodgrass. Title number 6 on the PWBA Tour.
Off his hand, it looks good. It looks good. He's done it. He's done it. And welcome to practice session number 2, 2026 USBC Masters. Craig Elliott and Jimmy Callahan here on the call again. We're 15 to 20 minutes for this practice session, Jimmy. Practice session 1 in the books. Back here, session 2 on the burn for this B squad group of players. What do you expect to see in lane play here? They're not seeing the fresh. They're going to have to manipulate a little bit different lane play here in this practice session.
Yeah, I think they'll migrate a little bit to the left. I think they have to be careful of not getting too far to the left because, you know, trying to preserve the pattern a little bit. When Nick built the pattern, Nick Hogan I'm talking about, he wanted to, you know, putting that much oil, 35.67 mils on it. He's trying to preserve the lane a little bit. So if you want to have a chance on this squad, you got to make sure you don't get too left too quick.
And we'll get into that pattern. The highest mills we've seen all year on tour. Also, some of the slickest oils we've seen both used in the machine. But we'll get into that in a little bit. And Jimmy, also one of our favorite players right in front of us we're watching here in this session, Miss Liz Johnson.
Greatest woman bowler of all time, in my opinion. You know, I've been fortunate enough that I've dealt with her for the last 25 or 30 years before I transitioned into this position. And she's fantastic. You know what? She's won the Queens, the Senior Queens. Never know. She could have had a Masters.
That'd be a nice thing to add to her resume. Let's get out the lanes. We're going to run through all our pairs and play 9 cameras, 9 channels, 8 static cams here, and, of course, our main. And we'll talk about the oil pattern and, you know, whatever else might come up here in the next 15 to 20 minutes. Welcome in all our viewers out there on Bowl TV and YouTube, of course, here for this practice session. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of bowling coming your way over the next several days here from Thunder Bowl here in Allen Park. And where are we at? We're 31 to 34, and there is Liz Johnson.
Tell you what, you let her play that part of the lane, she is going to be a problem for some people. Tell you what, Liz looks good. I mean, she's been working out a lot. She's
I was
in
just
good
noticing the
shape.
same thing. Yeah, she looks fantastic.
Yeah, she looks great.
For, you know, and she'll have that S by her name. She is.
You better
she is
be
part of that
nice.
group of seniors
You better
now.
be nice. She'll hunt you down with that age, boy.
She knows. She made a show, right? She made a show on the senior tour.
A few.
She can play. One of our favorites. Jeff Mann down there. A.J. Woolston home.
She could get the total all. She has a PBA title, a regional title, a PWBA title, a Senior Queens. All she needs now is a PBA 50 title, and she's won on every tour level there is.
Call that
That's
the GOAT Slam? Is that what that would be? The GOAT Slam?
That would be the greatest slam ever.
Yeah.
She's her and Kelly Kula could be the only ones that probably could ever do that.
Let's bounce around here in this 92-lane bowling center. We're using the main section here for all the qualifying over on Channel 3, 35 to 38. How about Team USA player right there, Ryan Powers?
Very good player. Bowled very well in the team trials this year. Dylan Bowers from Delaware, the son of proprietor at Mid-County Lanes, Kim Bowers and Bob Bowers.
One of our favorite stops, Mid-County Lanes.
Picture of Rita Justice on the front of his jersey.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think, guys, they have to pay attention not to use too much surface. It gets your ball offline so quickly, and there's so much friction to the right. You just gotta use those medium balls, shiny solid or medium balls, and keep it in front of you. But you can't get too steep, like that guy just did and missed the head pin for the 1-2.
Yeah, I think I misspoke too, Jimmy. I do believe they did rig oil for this practice session. Let's jump over to Channel 4, 39 to 42. How about that guy right there on the right side of your screen? That big blue shirt, Mr. Brett Wolf.
Champion in 2002.
Blue hammered pair of Lins, right? That's what he's famous for.
PBA Rookie of the Year Cortez Schenk in there as well.
No surprise, these two Arizona guys down there practicing together. They know each other very, very
I could see
well.
my selection on this pair, on this side, on the left. My selection for this week could be in there. This is one of the only majors he just stepped right up.
Frankie?
He could be one of the, I mean, the way the pattern is designed and the way that Nick has built it, I could see Frankie being a big factor here. He's already ahead of the curve. His ball doesn't have a lot of surface on it if you look.
You know, I don't disagree with you much, Jimmy, but is this format, with qualifying, yes, but when you get in 3-game matches, I mean, Frankie, the long patterns, the longer formats, the more games he gets them dialed in. Not always a real fast starter. That's kind of a factor here in the matches, right?
Yeah, you have 3 squads of 5 each, and then you cut to the top 64, including Gary Haynes.
Right. And
and then we go into 3-game total pinfall matches. So I don't, man, he gets caught up in that rev rate thing. I don't think the rev rate thing is going to be an issue this week.
Well, touch, right, and we'll get to the pattern here in a little bit.
Yeah.
With as slick as this pattern is going to be, touch really comes into play. And when you talk about that, Frankie's one of the first guys to come to mind, right?
And
Great touch.
absolutely. And I think the more they run it, it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. You got to remember, they had the house pattern down, and they ran it. This is the second time they've ran it now. It's going to get tighter.
They had a similar pattern last night, I think, for the sweeper as well. Right? They had a big sweeper last night.
Correct.
For a lot of players. Pretty good turnout. I think over 100 players took advantage of that. Dio Bernard, big shocker, won something again.
It's unbelievable how he wins everything. You just can't.
Yeah.
Frankie's got the right roll on. This
Look
is
at
a
that.
guy.
They're icing Brett Wolf already on a slow rack here. Icing him already.
There's the
I
guy,
see you pointing at
Cortez.
Tez. I see you pointing at Tez.
Tez is really good playing to the right. Brett Wolf has to be close to 50 now.
He is, yeah, he's over 50 now.
Is he over 50
I believe
now?
he is over 50. 51 maybe?
I knew he was either right at the number or a little over. I'm going to tell you what, he's been a great bowler forever. He averaged, he had the 1 year he averaged in the 250s. I mean, he's a great bowler from the Phoenix area.
Yeah, bowls a ton out there in that part of the country. And now we can bounce over to Channel 5, 43 to 46 from fresh faces here. Anybody
Truman
recognize? Well, how about this guy on the left will come up, Aaron Lawrence, right?
Oh.
Former Collegiate Player of the Year, 4-time All-American, I believe. He's made some shows in his young career. He hasn't bowled a lot. A few years back, kind of took a lot of time off tour. Lives here in the area, but still a heck of a competitor. We were talking off air about surprises.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a surprise.
No,
but
not
he
at
could
all.
definitely make a run in this event.
You got to remember the guy that won the U.S. Open this year, Patrick Dombrowski, he finished second to D. Ron Booker 2 years ago. So this is a format that he does.
Different building. That was in
Does
Vegas.
very well.
That was in Vegas. So
Yep.
wasn't it? Yeah. But Patrick, Central Region guys, bowled in this building quite a bit, not too far from his home in Parma, Ohio.
Did you ever see the Truman Show?
I didn't. Yeah, that was a movie, right? With
Yeah.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just checking. That's the first name I saw was
Oh,
Truman.
so that's one movie you've seen in your lifetime.
No, I just knew the name of it.
You watch Star Wars yet?
No.
Come on, Jimmy.
There's a young man you keep an eye on right there, Luke Switolski.
Luke Skywalker, right?
Luke
That's his
Switolski,
name.
very, very.
Luke Skywalker's from Star Wars. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Huh?
Sean Rash, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, watch this kid. Really
All
good.
right,
Luke
we'll
Switolski.
We'll wait for a shot. Watch Aaron Lawrence
PBA
pick up
junior
this.
champion, really, really good. The kids today are amazing, and there's a lot of them bowling this week. We'll give little backstories on them as we go through.
I was talking with Mike Maglin from Turbo about that during the break, and Mike, we're walking around. It's like there is more young kids, more names than I don't. Even guys from Michigan that I don't know who they are. So there's a new group of new crop of young players really stepping up this year here for the Masters.
Luke may want to take a step to the
That
right.
might not be the shot you want to talk about. Oh, you know what? Let's get the camera off and go to Channel 6.
Let's see what else
53
we
to
got.
56.
You got Crystal Elliott. Yeah. Mike Rubin bowled good last week. He had a couple.
Shot 300.
Yep.
And how about the wily veteran there, Dick Allen, making his first appearance in 2026.
Garrett Andrews, Wichita State player, coached by Clara Guerrera.
That looks like Landon Jordan right there with the Uno jersey on, too. I've seen that jersey before.
I believe you're correct.
Landon and Griffin both bowling this week. We didn't get to see them at the U.S. Open because they're in college now. They weren't able to get the time off school, but a spring break week.
Yep.
For both those young men, and here they are.
There's your guy, Ayala from Dallas, Georgia.
Yeah,
remember you looked that
up?
New
name. Yeah, there's a lot of new names. We're going to get to meet a lot of these players. That's the fun thing about this event, why it's one of the favorite tournaments for a lot of us.
Let's see what kind of look Crystal Elliott has here. I like how she's playing them. No doubt about that.
Didn't look too bad. How about Channel 7, 57 through 60? Some of the Southwest region there. Trey Brand, Mason Edmondson all run the same pair. There's that Smallwood guy. Think he knows this building at all? Old Tommy Smallwood. Yeah, he knows this building like the back of his hand.
Randy Weiss, got another senior player. And downtown Charlie Brown in play, baby. Bad Charlie. No, that's Leroy Brown. My fault.
Close enough, right? You can combine them. Yeah, combine them.
Wrong one.
Charlie's been bowling a lot on the west side of the state, getting ready for this event. Coming in sharp.
Andrew Hall just sticking his head on the bottom of the screen. Ooh. See how Smalls is playing. I would think he's right around the second arrow. Little left of it, 13 to about 7. That's too far left.
Channel 8, 61 to 64. Who we got over there?
Let's see.
Another Hall of Famer, Bill O'Neill.
Oh, we got Danny James in there, DJ Archer. See who else heads sticking in and out of there. You know Bourget can't be far if Danny James is there.
Steve Novak. His one event for the season.
Yeah, there he is.
And last channel, Channel 9, 65 to 68. Then we'll talk about this oil pattern. There's Dean Richards. Matt Stevens out of Houston.
That's Sterner in the corner there.
That is Flash himself,
Tom Sorsey.
What?
Right there.
Oh, yeah, I see him sneaking in.
65. Then you got on 67 and 8. You got Ronnie Fujita and Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman.
There's the college connection right there between those three. Matt Raskoski, Michigan guy. Let's jump up here and take a look at this oil pattern now too, Jimmy. There we go. 2026 USBC Masters pattern there. What's this look like? We saw it earlier. Let's take a little look again. Anything changed from what you saw in practice that might stand out on this graph now?
No, I think you definitely have to play to the right. I mean, the distance is 41 feet. We got 35.59 mils. It's 1.87 to 1. I mean, it's probably a bit higher than that after it gets stretched a little bit. The drop brush is at 39 feet, so we have 2 feet of transition from the drop brush to the end of the pattern. It's built, I had some conversations with Nick, and, he thinks a little less surface would probably be good. Remember, he's coming out with a video tomorrow, too, to discuss the pattern. He told me to bring that up as well, just like he did at the U.S. Open. So you got to be a little bit more to the right. He wants to see around 6, 7, 8. Don't need a lot of surface, like 1,000 at the most. Keep it in front of you. You can't be farther than like 11, 12 at the arrows. And, I like shiny balls, shiny solids and pearls with a little bit of surface. And you see the line going across? There's our famous speed bump.
Well, I was listening to you earlier. You also talked about playing them pretty straight and direct. We've got the 2007-8 Master Champion on this pair, Sean Rash. And he was working yesterday, I saw a video, staying up the back of the ball to really square things up and play pretty straight. Bowled pretty good this year. He's been pretty close couple events.
Yeah, he hasn't got there yet, but he's been close. You know what I mean? I think he's got a lot of equipment now. He's throwing some different brands, and he's just trying to see where each ball fits. But, I mean, the guy's a PBA Hall of Famer. He's a great bowler.
Well, I like to see those guys, even if Sean's stats or other players' stats are still working on things, right? Always trying something different. Always adding pieces and parts and working on specific things. Let's see if that plays out good for Sean.
When you look at the pattern also, you have the straight line going across. that is, sorry to interrupt you there.
You're
You're going
good.
to finish
You're
your
good.
statement. Yeah, that means if you get too steep, the ball will not hook, just like that right there, that young man just did there with the Motive shirt. You got to keep your angles squarer through the front so you can control the pocket. But I think the word that Nick used to me, it is more of a traditional pattern. It's symmetrical both ways. It's an old school pattern. You can play, like I say, he's steering you to a spot for the reason that he wants to conserve the pattern. When you get on B squad, he doesn't want guys throwing it over the gutter cap.
Sure. No,
so
great point.
let's go out and take a peek and see how the guys are playing. And we're
I
going
want
to
to go back
around
to
here a
channel
little
2. I want to be greedy and call our shot here. I want to watch Liz throw some more shots.
Okay.
And how about Hank Boomerson down there with Liz and Julian Salinas doing what you should do when you got Hank and Liz around you. Be a sponge.
Young man, A.J. Wallenstein, very, very, very good player. New Jersey originally, from Florida.
Just come off a nice trip to Reno. Bowled pretty good out there, did A.J. Wilston home.
Bowled at Weber. I'm telling you, Julian Salinas is going to pop off a week. It's coming, I'm telling you. You and I picked him, right, to be Rookie of the Year. That's not going to happen, but unless he wins a major, and then anything could happen.
His first Masters, too. He has
Yeah.
not bowled this event before. He's been in this building a couple times, the U22 Masters. I think one other venue told me, so he's got a little bit of history here. Not a ton, but his first Masters tournament for Julian.
Get up and bowl, Julian. Let's go. AJ's a really solid player. Does a lot of video work. He's on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all those. And
Yeah, he spent some time in Muskegon recently, too, a month or so ago, doing some videos at the Brunswick facility there in Muskegon. You ever been over there? Pretty cool facility. I think they've got 8 lanes set up in there.
did you really just ask me if I ever been there?
Have you?
Think about where have I worked the last 30 years?
I know, that's why it was a valid question.
I worked at Hammer,
Look, you had
then
a
I
whole
worked
day.
for AMF,
You
and
had
then
a
I
whole
worked
day
for
yesterday.
Storm.
A whole day of doing nothing yesterday. You could have gone over there and
I didn't
checked
see
it out.
too many invites coming into the Brunswick plant when I was working there.
I'll get you one.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, I got you.
I got people. I can go there
It's a
now.
Cool facility they have there. 8 lanes of practice. They do a lot of video work.
Take a look at Julian and Liz when they come up here. There's Jeff Mann as well over there, former junior gold champion.
So if you've been in the Storm plant, the Hammer plant, the AMF plant, did you ever get down to San Antonio for the global plant?
I did not.
'Cause we could get the Jimmy Slam, right?
I
Was it
did
all these
not.
different
I was at
places?
those 3.
Huh?
I was at those 3. I was at 2 Hammer plants,
Baltimore and
both Baltimore. They moved.
okay, all right.
I was on Broning Highway and Route 40. There's 2 of them. Let's see what Liz is doing. I got to think her angles would be pretty straight, around 6'7". Yep,
Wrong where?
6'7". That was a little left off her head.
And then we talked earlier. I asked you the question: how long in the practice session you get a good look? Right, we're at the 20-minute mark now, so it's probably about time we'll see players bounce around a little bit, just get used to the different parts of the center. Let's take a look at our schedule here for the week. Pretty ambitious. A lot of bowling yet to come. Going to have another practice session for C Squad here at 3:30. An old bowl with the pros, the Pro-Am tonight. And then there we go, Jimmy. A, B, and C. Fresh, burn, fresh.
Can't
8
wait.
a.m., 12:30, 6:30, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the best part of the week, we get in the old bracket play. Friday morning, 10 a.m.
Here's a guy bowling right in front of us, Dallas Leong. Don't sleep on this guy. When he can play right at 10, stay out of this guy's way. I'm telling you.
Picking him this week?
I don't know if I'm picking him, but he'd be a sleeper pick for me.
See, I would talk. I don't know. He's not a sleeper pick. I can't put him as a sleeper pick.
Oh, he bowled good last week.
No, I mean we all know what Dallas is capable of.
He's made the finals in this tournament several times. I think there's a lot of guys this year actually that are newcomers to the Masters. Like you talked about Julian Salinas. I think we have a bunch of new ones. Interesting story about Scott McIntyre. He went from one-handed to two-handed.
Oh, I didn't notice that. You're
PBA
right.
50 player.
You are correct. Doesn't look 50.
No. Dallas 10 back in the last one.
So there is our schedule for the week. We're going to do this practice session again at 3:30 this afternoon with the C Squad Bowlers. We'll introduce a bunch of them as well, bounce around the building some more. And we will not stay live too much longer here on the main, but all other 8 channels, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, from lanes 31 to 68 will stay live for the remainder of this practice session. So pick your favorite players, bounce around like PBA Hall of Famer Bill O'Neill right there on Channel 8.
That's not where he's looking to play right there. Way too far left.
Well, so that's the other variable, right? Jim, we've talked about all the new names, a lot of players that we don't know, a lot of new faces here in the building. How they play the lanes in qualifying is going to be a lot different than maybe what we see scoring pace into the matches, correct?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But you got to remember, a lot of the young kids, they bowl on a lot of Nick's patterns.
They do. They do.
You know what I mean?
Great
So
point.
they understand, you know, the shapes and stuff he does, and he likes you to. The one thing I'll say about Nick, he likes to go right to left. You know, you start out to the right and then break the lane down. He doesn't like that first shot out of the blocks at 20. That never really ends well for people.
And multiple angles as well, too, right? So we'll see if that plays out here this week. So I think that's going to bring our practice session here on the main to an end. But again, stay tuned. Watch all the channels you want. Find your favorite player and bounce around. So for Jim Callahan, and if you're on YouTube, of course, don't forget to subscribe to Bowl TV. We've got a lot of coverage all week and the rest of the season here on Bowl TV. So find your favorite event, find your favorite player, enjoy the coverage. See you back again here in a little while for C Squad. So for Jim Callahan and Chase Kaufman, I'm Craig Elliott. We see you in just a little bit here this afternoon. And remember, on Bowl TV, bowling lives here.
Bill O'Neill, winner, winner, winner. Bill O'Neill advances for a title. Indeed. The birthday girl, Stephanie Zavala.
9 to make the show. There it is.
He yelled, do it, and he did it. BJ Moore makes the show. 10 is a win for Snodgrass. Title number 6 on the PWBA Tour.
Off his hand, it looks good. It looks good. He's done it. He's done it.